It's Tuesday, May 23rd. I'm Sarah Fergani with KENS 5 News Now. An elderly woman escaped her burning home in the middle of the night, but some of her pets are still unaccounted for. Around 12:30 this morning, firefighters were called out to that house on 7th Drive near Goliad Road on the southeast side. And they say smoke was coming from the front door and found a small fire burning in the kitchen. The elderly woman walked out of her house unharmed and several of her cats were rescued. However, some were still missing at last check. The cause of the fire is under investigation. A fight between siblings turns violent quickly, and now one is in the hospital and the other is on the run. It started with a group of people in the backyard of a home on Kenmar Drive on the city's east side late Monday night. Police say two brothers started arguing when the younger brother, a teenager, pulled out a gun and shot his older brother. The victim suffered a gunshot wound to his hip. Police are still looking for the younger man. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the tragic shooting in Uvalde. The massacre took the lives of 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary. And this week, families of the victims entered the school for the first time since the shooting. Several parents tweeted about their experience. The father of Emery Jo Garza said going into Robb Elementary was one of the most difficult experiences I've ever had. Bullet holes none higher than my chest line covered the room walls. Blood covered light switches. Another parent said there was nothing worse than seeing a huge poster congratulating them for graduating the 4th grade. We're going to have special team coverage on KENS 5 from Uvalde all Wednesday, so be sure to stay with us on air and on KENS5.com. At the state capitol, a bill to change the way dangerous dog cases are handled is one step closer to becoming law. That bill was filed after the deadly mauling on San Antonio's west side back in February. The measure increases penalties for owners of dogs that attack people outside their property. But the bill's main focus is allowing for investigations into the anonymous reporting of dangerous dogs without an affidavit. Documents show the dogs from the February attack were reported in previous bite cases, but because there were no affidavits, the dogs remained at that home. Before that bill can pass, it needs to go back to the House, then the governor's desk. Meanwhile, there is a proposal already headed to the governor's desk. It's aimed at expanding protections for Texas children by bringing changes to the current Baby Moses law. SB 780 is altering the state's previous law by now adding newborn safety devices at safe haven drop-offs. Under that bill, these climate-controlled devices would need to be inside a location that is staffed 24 hours a day and visible to employees. The devices would also need to contain an alarm that would sound when an infant is placed inside. If Governor Abbott signs the bill, it goes into effect September 1st. And happening today in Austin, Governor Abbott will welcome former UK Prime Minister and current Member of Parliament Boris Johnson at the state capitol. Governor Abbott and Johnson will hold what's being called an economic development meeting. Johnson was in Dallas Monday speaking at a luncheon, and he asked lawmakers and donors to urge the U.S. to stay the course in their support of Ukraine. A warning to consumers, there have been reports of burn injuries from some waffle makers. Nearly 500,000 from Empower brands have been recalled due to a burn hazard. The affected products are the Power XL stuffed waffleizer. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said hot pieces of waffles can shoot out during use. The company has received dozens of burn injuries and 3 people required medical attention. You can find the model numbers and a fix for this issue on powerxl.com. Just click on safety recalls at the top of the page. Just in time for summer travel season, TSA is expanding pre-check access. The agency will now allow teens from 13 to 17 years old to accompany parents or guardians enrolled in pre-check security screening. The tickets need to be made on the same reservation, and you must double-check the pre-check symbol on their boarding pass. VIA is in need of bus drivers and mechanics. It's holding a job fair today at the VIA Metro Center and offering up to $4,000 as a hiring incentive for bus drivers. Mechanics and CDL shop attendants can get up to $6,000. So if you're interested, you're encouraged to apply now online. For today's forecast, we're checking in with meteorologist Paul Morales.
All right, let's take a look. We've got partly cloudy skies outside now, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see throughout the day. Partly cloudy skies, high temperatures close to 90, 89. It's going to be a very warm day, and if you have anything planned this evening, mainly dry, but overnight, there's a slight chance we could have a storm.
And that's KENS 5 News now. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Sarah Fergani.